What happens when you get fired or terminated, rather, from your job in Ontario and you are not given any notice? Well, there's two ways that you could be terminated from your position. There's with cause and there's without cause. With cause is a pretty high standard. That means that you did something particularly bad, maybe stealing from the company, repeated instances of insubordination and so forth that is documented. It's very hard to prove, but if an employer fires you with cause, that means that they're ready to meet a potential lawsuit from you in order to not pay you anything when they fire you. What about without cause? And you are simply fired and told to leave the premises, and you are fired for no reason. What are your rights? And is the employer allowed to do that? Well, in Ontario, all employees have a particular right to notice of termination. There, depending on how long that you've been working there and various other factors. In Ontario, there is employment law legislation that allows you to get 1 week, up to 8 weeks, 1 week per year of how long you've been working. And there is a schedule and it's on the Ontario government website. And that's the amount of notice that they have to give you. It's not the lottery, it is an amount of notice. For example, if you've worked somewhere for 4 years, you're entitled to 4 weeks of notice in order to fire you. That they have to pay you 4 weeks. They can either tell you to leave and they'll just give you 4 weeks, or you can work for another 4 weeks, collect the paycheck, and then you leave. The point of these provisions is to allow you the time to decompress and find another job during the time that it takes for them to fire you. Again, it is not the lottery. It's an idea that if you've been working somewhere for a long period of time, you need a chance to find another job. Now, employment standards is just one of the termination notice payments that you're entitled to. You're also entitled to the common law in addition to the statute. Common law termination pay relates on a bunch of different factors: your age, your type of position, how long you've been working there, your chances of finding another position, your hours, and your type of pay. All of these fit in to this idea that you should be actually getting a little bit more notice than what you've been given under the statute. And courts, at least in Ontario, in 2026, have been certainly providing that you are entitled to a little bit more than your statutory notice of up to 8 weeks. So if you've been working somewhere for 5 years, you don't just get 8 weeks, you get 8 weeks plus an amount of money related to how long you've been working there and so forth. There is no official cap or amount that you would be entitled to in terms of notice. Courts have been known to offer 2 years, for example, of notice that should have been given to you if you are being fired. And if they're not going to give you that notice, then they have to pay you time in lieu of that notice. So statutory notice as well as common law notice. There's another type of payment that you might be entitled to, depending on your role, how long you've been there, and the type of company, and that's called severance pay. You may have heard the term severance pay. Severance pay is not termination pay. Severance pay is a special type of pay. It's a special calculation where if the company that you're working for is extremely large, has a very large employee payroll, there's many people that work there, and you've been at this company for a very long time, on top of termination pay, on top of common law pay, you may also be entitled to severance pay, which is a special calculation that you can also find on the Ontario Ministry website. So again, termination pay, statutory termination pay, common law notice, as well as severance pay are the three that you may be entitled to if you are fired without cause in Ontario. There's one final point. If you feel you've been discriminated against for your gender or race or religion or age, you may also have a human rights claim that you can bring, which may entitle you to additional damages as well.